Howdy y'all, let's learn how to play What the World Needs Now. So I'm going to show you not the definitive way to play it, but rather just the way I play it, the way that I played it on the version I did on IGTV or YouTube or however you saw this. It's pretty simple and it lends itself well to lots of space, which is what I tend to like in my voicings. I'm just going to play it once all the way through. There's just two forms, or there's just two parts. There's an A part and a B part, or the chorus and the verse. They just go back and forth. So I'll just play one time through the chorus and one time through the verse after playing a short intro, which you'll recognize. So here we go. So I'm just going to go through how to play the song, and then afterwards we'll talk about a little theory. So what Bacharach did with some of the voicings is interesting in terms of just defying expectation, which is one of the most fun things you can do in music and life. Okay, so the intro, first of all, it's just going back and forth between an A minor 7 and a D minor 7. So a few notes about voicings. A lot of times I try to keep my voicings as sparse as possible. I don't like to double notes up. And by doubling I mean like playing an octave, unless I can't avoid it, or if it's part of the melody. Sometimes that's important to include a melody note in a voicing, and maybe it's doubled down here. Like that's the first chord of the verse right there. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, so here's the opening riff. It's pretty simple, and what that is an A minor 7. And the way I do it is I play the root, obviously, and then the 7th right there, and you just get that kind of interesting tension right in the low half of the chord. And then I just play the 3rd and the 5th of the chord right there. Very simple. And then that's also your melody note. So another way. That's what I do. Why? Who knows? And then the next chord is a D minor 7. So I'm just doing parallel fifths, which Bach would say not to do that, but he's not here. So it's just going to be D and A, and then I leave my thumb on the C chord here and just move it up to the nearest contender. So that's right here. You get a very nice, simple spelling of a D minor 7 chord, which is the 1, 5, 7, and 3 of the chord. You could just drop that F down here, and there would be a very simple, straightforward D minor 7, but that's a bit clunky for our purposes, don't you think? So just those two chords now. And then I hit the octave, just because I think it sounds nice. And it's sort of part of the melody. So I just, some of these little frills I do, or just that's the way I do it. You can do it any other sort of way. I'm trying to keep it to just the bones of the song, and you can add to it as you will, but I guess I'm going to show you the way I do it. So. more to the chorus. I like to play the melody along with when I sing the melody, I like to double it in the instrument, whether that's piano or guitar. It just kind of fills up the sound better. I perform a lot solo, so I'm trying to make as much with my limited means as I can. So so we'll be playing the melody as we sing. So what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Okay, so what I'm doing right there, again, just that root and 7 in the A minor. And then I fill it out a little bit more. I'm still just playing the 3 and the 5 of the A minor chord, but I'm gonna double it here now in the octave because that's the melody note. And then back to our D minor 7. And right here, there's a doubled A in the chord. And that's just because the A is in the melody, this high A. So it's and then I just do this little, it's just easy to play and it's nice. So just play that back and forth. That was a variation. Yeah, and I kind of mix up these variations all the time, just small little variations. They add a lot to the musicality of it. So like, here's the one I showed you. Here's a different one. It's really simple. That's just a simple suspension. So let's just do that very first part. We just did it on repeat. So what really happens is it just happens twice. So we're gonna go. World needs now is love, sweet love. Now we're doing a new part, and that's gonna be a G minor 7 arpeggio. And so there's a first modulation. So now we're gonna have a B flat here. And the way I play this is I like it to start. I played this a bunch of different ways when I was kind of working up the arrangement, and I wanted it to have a high root note here so it can tumble down and give you a little bit more movement and a little bit more of a sighing quality. I don't know the words. In the left hand. So the way I do it is I just play a very simple G minor. There's not even a 7 here, so that's G, B flat, D, and G in the melody. And then I play the melody here, so it's gonna go, it's the only one. So I'm gonna go, well, let me break that down. So it's gonna be, I'm playing with my B flat. Just like that. And then with the left hand I go, simple enough. And then when I land, I'm gonna do that 1 and 7 again, just to keep that form consistent, because I did it with the A minor. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful sound. It's very open, and yet there's a ton of tension there. So, and then I play a little bit of a melody here. So yeah, that's it. I'm just doing a lot of B flat riff in here. For some reason I hit this 7 up here. It just sounds kind of nice. And it kind of hints at a B flat major, but we don't need to worry about that. So. And this is, you could call this a C6, or it's kind of an inversion of an A minor 7. We'll call it a C6 because I know you guys are sticklers for detail. And why that's a 6 is because this A is in the chord, and that's because the A is in the melody. It's really just a C chord with an extended suspension. So what's happening here is we're gonna play a C, a G, another C, this chord sounds very Midwestern. You know, it's like Oklahoma. I don't know why. So it's the only one that there's just two. And I hit this octave. Just two. And then I hit this. What's going on here? This is kind of a C7 chord with a suspension in it. And I did this, I can't remember why, mostly because I liked this sound. It's kind of a little sickly. And that's because you're having a B flat ring against an A. So it's that sound. So what that sounds like in the context, it's only hanging there for a second because it's resolving really quick. But I do it again on the way back up. So there's just two that love what the world. So you're gonna go, let's just do this, spell it out chord. Here's our C6, and then we're gonna go two, and then we're down to the B flat. We're leaving our left hand here on the C, and we're gonna go with the B flat and the A, and resolve to the G. We're holding that B flat. So, and then we're gonna play an F, still holding that B flat in the thumb, F, A, and then I hit the B flat and the A like that. So I go. It's a cool sound. And then I go back up to this, and it just repeats the second half, just like the first half, with one small variation, which we'll get to. So let's play up to that point, just the chorus. So it's what the world. Now here's the second half, just like the first half. Same, we're going to do the G minor 7. Now here's where it's different. That's still the same. Now here's the different part. And we're just going to play an A major chord sus, a suspension. So it's going to do that, and that's just A, E, and then we're doing an A and an E here, and then we're gonna touch that D because it's a 4/3 suspension, and so that D is gonna resolve. It's just very nice. All these tricks are not new, but they always work. So here's the second half of all of that. What the world is now. Sweet love, oh, not just for someone, but for everyone. So I go sus, just like that, A, E, D, E, A, and then walk up on the 7 into the 1. So G, A, and then resolve it. So it's gonna go. Very simple. And it's a nice sound. And this is the first trick that Burt really plays on you here, because you would expect this kind of sound, this A major sound really sets up, you would expect it to go to like a D minor. That's where it wants to go, because that's going to want to go. But he doesn't do that. Instead, he resolves it just back to an A minor 7, which is where the chorus starts. So what that sounds like is it's like a lift, and you're expecting hope, and he's like, no, we're not there yet. We want love, we don't have it. And why that kind of works, I've been thinking about that, because it's unorthodox to have this A major chord resolve to an A minor 7. But what's happening here in the middle voices is you get that suspension, and then it's going to resolve to the A, and then it's going to resolve once more. So you're getting this, and that's the through line. That's the through line that's carrying you through the deceptive modulation. So here we go. We're going to go. Now we're back. Here's the verse. And these chords are actually quite simple. So here we go. A minor 7. We've got this 1 and 5. A, E, G, C. So that's the whole chord right there. And then I double that E because that's in the melody. So we don't need another mountain. These are just block chords. And then I kind of go just to break up that rhythm a little bit. So and that's just going D. You can do whatever you want. So Lord, don't need. You don't have to do that. You can just play these straight block chords. There are, and then we're gonna go to C minor 7. Yes. So from here on out, for the rest of these chords, I'm just going to play one finger. I'm going to keep these bass notes really simple because there's a lot of motion happening, and I don't want it to get real muddy, and so I just used the simplest voicings possible. And what that looks like here is that's a C minor 7, and I'm going to play one note with my left hand and then a triad with my right hand, and so that's going to be C minor 7 and then F 7. So, and I'm going to keep all of these chords. I'm going to move to the next available customer as it moves through the chords, because I don't want your ear to notice really what's happening in the middle voices. I really want the listener to notice the vocal, and that the piano right here should be almost invisible, sonically invisible. It's something that you don't want to even notice that that's what I'm thinking of. And so I'm keeping all of these voicings as close to the next chord as possible, so that all the motion is very small. So it's going to go C minor 7, F 7, B flat 7, and that's a major 7 here. It's just such a nice chord. And then sometimes I'll be like, taste might take a vacation right there. I'm not sure yet. So I'm just repeating this. So we're doing C minor 7, F7, right, B flat major 7, and it repeats. C minor 7, F7, B flat major 7, and then it's going to walk up to a D minor 7. And that's one time when I break my rule and I play a slightly different voicing, because these are so close that I didn't like that. I wanted a little bit more motion right there. So B flat major 7, D7, D minor 7, sorry. And then this is an interesting moment where it goes down to G major, or G7, just so you have this, and now it's going here. And then it's C minor 7 again, and then F7. So what that sounds like in the context of the whole thing. So, oh Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last until the end of time. And I wrote the chords on the screen, so hopefully you can just see that. And it's going to go back to the chorus. And you already know that that part, that's the whole song. It just goes chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, out. And the way I got out of it was I just vamped on A minor 7. Something like that, but you can find your own ending. The most important thing is to just believe the sentiment of the song. Thanks for watching.